Hey guys, Average Joe here, and I'm pretty excited about this video. I hope you are too. Some of you have been waiting months for me to complete this project. When I had first posted this video showing my fix for the Bowflex 552, many of you had asked, can you buy it? And I had originally only made these for me. I didn't realize that there would be literally hundreds of thousands of people who need this same fix. I didn't realize how widespread the problem was with the product. But in the months since, I decided to make these commercially available. But that required me going through additional effort because the originals, for reasons that I explained in a previous video, they're not really something that I would sell to you guys. They're okay for a first attempt and a proof of concept, but they are not what I would call a retail ready solution. Anyway, why did I do this? You all know the story already. These things break, and they break spectacularly. They break around the circumference and they break across the radius, and they're basically super unsafe. Some of us try to glue them, and unfortunately that's a temporary fix. They continue to break, and when they do, you're dropping weights on your face or your chest or your feet or your floor, and well, you don't want that. Now, Bowflex tried to do some solutions to half-ass the fix for this, and they didn't do a good job at it because they never fixed the problem. The Series 2, this is Series 1, 552, this is Series 2, and this is 1090. They changed some dimensions on the 552 Series 2. They made the diameter smaller, the lip thinner, changed the heights. These are not compatible. You cannot use these discs in your other dumbbells. Things won't line up properly. So they also screwed us over on that because you can't use Series 2 replacement discs on Series 1. And these things are getting more and more rare. One disc used to cost $16. It probably cost them less than $1 to injection mold these. And they were selling for $16 a piece. Now that they're no longer made on eBay, these typically run anywhere from about $20 to north of $40 per disc. That's crazy. So I don't advise wasting your money on them because they're just going to break again anyway, like the others. Now, some people have 3D scanned these and they're reproducing them with 3D printing. That's a nice temporary fix, but again, you're taking a poor design and you're recreating it in printed plastic. So you haven't solved the problem. All you're doing is reproducing a crappy part. So people are spending $13 to $18 per disc for 3D printed versions. And I get it. Short term, you need a disc, you want to work out. It's a cheap, or not cheap, but relatively cheap, fast fix compared to the much more rare OEM replacement parts. But they're going to break with 3D printing as well. Eventually, it's just going to happen. With the 1090, Bowflex chose to insert or encase a steel plate. I assume they thought that this would fix the problem. It's not going to fix the problem. The issue here is they've stopped the radial cracks, but not the circumference cracks. You can actually see in the light, the shine from the glue, there's a crack developing on every single one of these discs. So they're breaking all the way around this center hub where there is no metal. And the result is that this is eventually going to separate from the hub, will separate from the flat portion, the donut. And that's going to drop a weight again on your face or your feet or your chest or the floor. So that didn't solve the problem. Now, you remember in my earlier videos, I created these replacements in 6061 aluminum. And, it's a great first attempt. I didn't have the equipment or the resources to do the design that I really wanted to do. So this was a nice proof of concept, and it got everyone excited too. Little did I know that you were all going to, want this type of fix as well. Problem is, if you remember from the previous videos, my tolerances, I made the tolerances so tight that these things were difficult to push in and pull up from the weights, to use the dumbbell with the weights. I needed to adjust all those tolerances. And you can see here that even though I use this pin method and I use Loctite, eventually these pins become free. And that's a problem, because as this pin pushes away, it begins to obstruct the adjacent plate, and it can't let the plate in or easily out. And, nobody wants to have to keep pushing these pins back to where they belong. That's why I would never have sold you a set like this. It's an interesting, cool-looking design, but it is not something that is user-friendly for retail. Your set would need to be something that you never have to worry about. You never have to do any kind of adjustments. So, in this box, I have the replacements. This is what I had originally wanted to do. Super simple, super clean. These puppies have had all the fat taken out of the design. There is not a single operation on these discs that isn't necessary. I did that to reduce the cost as much as possible. Time is money in a machine shop. And if they spend time cutting in unnecessary slots on the back of every single disc, that's going to be a problem. There's only one disc that needs slots on the back, and there is only one disc that needs keys on the front. The rest can be smooth back and front, and I use a hardened pin to align the discs. So these discs are super easy to get lined up. You don't have to mess around with, on the other ones, you basically had to do this kind of crap until you get them lined up properly. Here you can see the one pin aligns into the next pin, and I will show you how to assemble these super fast onto the dumbbell in a separate video. So anyway, these puppies are done. There is no further adjustment necessary. The machine shop is making a full set of these for me so that I can put them on the dumbbells and show you all of them installed. But for now, in the next video, I am going to install these 4 onto 1/2 of one dumbbell. And I will show you how easily they slide in and out of the weights, and how easily the dial turns. Basically, these are super user-friendly compared to the earlier discs that I had done for me. These are retail ready. Now, the next step is getting them produced in bulk and getting them ready to ship for the 552 Series 1. For 552 Series 2 and 1090, I will have to update these models, produce prototypes, test the prototypes, and then also get them into production. I hope that won't take more than an additional couple weeks to get going. So in the next video, I will discuss the installation on the dumbbell, as well as the expectations around when I think that these can be shipped and available, and how much that they would cost per set. And yeah, so thank you for hanging in with me while I got them to this point. I think that now I have a product that I can be proud of, and that I hope you will get use of for many years to come. These things aren't going to fail. The designs like this that use ABS, polyamides, different kinds of injectable injection molded plastics. This plastic has a tensile strength about 1/6, 1/7 that of aluminum. This is somewhere around 45,000 psi. Even if you used polycarbonate plastic, which is the strongest 3D printed plastic you can get, it's under 10,000 psi. So less than 25% the strength of the aluminum 6061 aluminum discs. So these things aren't going to fail. Your dumbbells will be trashed before these things fail. If you take care of the entire set, it's going to last you a lifetime. So thanks for hanging in with me through this whole journey, and I'll see you in the next video. I'll explain what needs to be explained as far as price, timing, and installation. And let's get these out into the market so that you can start using your weights again safely without wrecking your face. Thanks.